Hi everyone, it's Marta and I'm here to ask you one question. Do you want to build a snowman? Because I want, and this is why I'm going to show you 2 DIY Olaf inspired gifts. And those DIYs are super easy and fun to do and will be great to give anyone who loves Frozen. So if you want to see how I build my snowman, then keep on watching. First project will be this mug, and for this DIY you will need a white mug, rubbing alcohol, cotton pads, piece of paper, pencil, and black and red Sharpie. Start with designing your project on a piece of paper so you will know exactly how it will look on a mug, and this way it will be easier for you to draw later. And I got my inspiration from Pinterest. Next, take the rubbing alcohol and the cotton pad and wipe out the mug to get rid of any marks or oil residue from your hands. When that's done, start to draw your design on the mug. I recommend to start from the one side of the project so later you can easily lay your hand on the mug for stability. And don't worry if you mess up, you can always take the cotton pad you used earlier and wipe it and correct your mistakes. And as you can see, I start with fine lines to make sure I like the shape, and then I make them thicker. It will also help the lines to appear smoother. And every time I start to draw a different part of his face, I wipe this place with alcohol to make sure this area is clean and oil-free. It will help the marker stay permanent after putting it in the oven. And take your time at this point and don't stress out if something isn't perfect. It doesn't have to. It's handmade with love. Now that I've finished drawing Olaf's face, I turn the mug to the other side to write my favorite Olaf's quote. And I start to write the letters with fine lines, making them thicker later. Here, as you can see, I start to write the word people from the middle, and this way it will look more symmetrical and polished. And for this you can choose different quote, but this one is one of my favorites from Frozen. I decided to write the word melting in red and different font, so the word will stand out more and will catch the eye. And remember, if you don't like something, don't hesitate to wipe it out and start again. And on the very bottom, I draw a red snowflake. And now the mug is done, you just need to pop it into the oven for 30 minutes in 350 Fahrenheit degrees. And now it's time for this little guy. Things you'll need: a mug or a cup, white sock, white thread and needle, small wires used to pack food or rubber bands, and black and red fabric marker. And of course the rice as a filler. First you need to cut off the heel part of your sock. And later stretch the material so the edges will fall slightly. Next, take the mug and put your sock inside with edges folded over and start filling the sock, and when you think it's enough, take the sock out of the cup and form it into a ball. And I realized that I want the first ball to be bigger, so I put it back in the cup and added more filler. And when I like the size and the shape, I take the wire, and you can also use rubber bands, and I tie it tightly around the first ball. For 2 other sections, I will repeat the steps. The only thing different is that I will be adding less rice inside of each section. And if you add too much, you can always pour it back. And now it should look something like this. And now I recommend you to take a thread and needle to sew at least the top part. I want to draw Olaf's hair, and the band securing top section would just get in the way. And it will also look nicer. So I will sew every section of the snowman, but you can just do the top one. And don't worry if you can't sew, I can't do it either. I just need to do simple stitches, sewing it back and forth and all around. As you can see, it's not super complicated. And when I'm done with sewing, I tie a knot and snip off excess thread. And of course, I take the wire off. Now I can just gently snip off excess sock and start drawing. And I start drawing Olaf's hair, and then I do his face and buttons. And at this point, you need to really know what you're doing, since it's impossible to erase your mistakes. But don't worry, it's super easy. And now Olaf is done. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel. Bye!